The cards speak. Justice listens. Welcome to the unseen. Truth doesn't hide forever, not from the eyes that see. Spirits stir, clues awaken. Let the seeing begin. Behind every crime, a shadow speaks. I'm Lady Zelda. Welcome to Seeing Crime. Hello and welcome in, everyone. Welcome. It is Saturday, April the 18th at 2026. So glad that you are here. Hello, my darlings. This evening, we are visiting two places. We are visiting the archives of the Vatican, and we're going to be talking about some things that, well, really are there that probably shouldn't be, and probably some things that are there that we don't have any idea about. Number one. Number two, we are going to be talking about the Ark of the Covenant and where it is. But first of all, I want to thank each and every one of you. Welcome, welcome. And my darlings, I want to welcome my beautiful mods for being here. They've always got my back. There's this wonderful. They're always here. And thank them very much. And you know what? You might want to just give them a little thank you in the chat as well. So thank you, thank you, thank you. So there we are. So let me check everything here, make sure that I'm A-okay. I am. We are broadcasting fantastically. And then I want to welcome Fate and Fortune with True Oracle. They are in the chat. Hello, welcome. There's my bestie dancing along. We want to welcome them. Thank you so much. That's Mrs. Marie. And we have Vale Keep in the house too, although he is working and probably can't. He's listening. So anyway, welcome and thank you. And you know what? I want to thank you too for coming to the live streams. We've been doing a lot of lives lately. And yesterday we had kind of a reprise of the Help I'm Haunted series. If you missed that, there are 3 stories that I tell in that. And you know what? That was a lot of fun. I was in the chat and I watched. And a lot of fun. A lot of fun. So there we go, my darlings. Now, I also want to thank you. Many of you have been sending me gifts at Amazon. And I mean everything from nails and journals and you know, these, I love these acrylic little things like this. They're so good to use for like a drink on your desk or something like that. And you know what else I've been doing? I got a couple of extra ones thanks to you guys. These make excellent makeup palettes where you can mixy. They're acrylic and they wash off easily. Amazon, go find them. They are wonderful. So thank you so much for everything. And also thank you so much for the cat food that many of you are sending. You know how much that helps me. I've got these little mouths to feed. And for some reason, they just seem to think that they have to eat every day. Sorry, there we go. Thank you. Now, we're going to start out. First of all, I want to let you know that the images that you will see all over tonight are mine. They are my work, and I have to lay claim to them. They are, I'm just going to say they are my intellectual property. So if I catch anybody without my permission using them, so anyway, all is well. All is well. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. I see so many people here that I know and so many people that I don't know. Thank you for being here. So we may as well just go ahead and get started because we got a lot to talk about. Okay, so here we go. We're going to start with this beautiful Ark of the Covenant first. And yes, I have the chants going on in the background. So you never know, we may want to ditch the Gregorian dudes and do a fireplace, but not yet. So anyway, it's kind of a solemn thing. So there we are. Do I know you? Yes. Desire. Yes, my darling. Yes, 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 I do. Thank you so much. Let's get started. First, I want to show you this beautiful, what I have here. What you're seeing before you is probably the closest rendition to the Ark of the Covenant that we will ever see. I do not believe that anyone has seen it here on earth, and I'll tell you why. But let me explain what the Ark of the Covenant is, because some people really don't know, and it's okay. So I've got another image here I'm going to show you. There we go. Yeah, we'll do this one. So the Ark of the Covenant is the sacred, I'm going to say, box. In the Hebrew, it's called a kapareth, and it holds the tablets of the 10 Commandments. That's why it is so sacred. That's why it's so, don't touch. And there's been a lot of different people. You see these shows on Discovery and the History Channel. Oh, in search of the Ark of the Covenant. We found the Ark of the Covenant. Well, I don't think that anyone is going to find it. And here is why. Let me make this a little larger here. I want you to see this. So it is so reverent. I love this. Let me put this back. Okay. So first of all, I want to share something about a gentleman. Now, this is a historical fact. There was a gentleman called Uzzah. And in the Bible, and you can find this in 2 Samuel chapter 6, they are moving, let me get this through, my darlings, they are moving the Ark of the Covenant from one place to another. And someone stumbled. And Uzzah, even though they were commanded by God not to touch it, touched it. And boom, he was gone. That was it. And the reason being, my darling, is because it became etched in the Israelite psyche that the ark was not just a box. See, it's not just a box. It's not just a box. It is a high voltage spiritual conductor. And that's why humans are told not to touch it. That's why we're told to. So from this point until the Babylonian invasion in 1586 BC, no one, not even the high priest, touched the gold. They only moved it using long carrying poles, just like this. So here's the thing, and this has always been my question when I've had these little conversations with different pastors and scholars And not anything bad, but good conversation, because that's what I like. So the good conversation, and I've always said, so if God had a no touching rule, why does everyone still think that it doesn't apply now? Because it does. There's some people that think that, well, there's the grace argument. Some believe because of the new covenant means a promise and a bond between God and his people. Some people think that there's a new covenant, that deadly holiness of the Old Testament objects its neutralized. That just basically saying, oh, well, since Christ come, never mind. We're going to just be erasing it. Then there's the loss of power argument. Some people are saying, well, there's been a long time coming. Skeptics and treasure hunters believe that without the Spirit of God or the original stone tablets inside, the ark is just an ancient artifact and an empty battery. Now, here's some things. There have been duplicates and decoys of the Ark of the Covenant. There's a long-standing theory that King Solomon or the high priest created decoys to protect the real Ark from invading armies like the Babylonians. There was an Ethiopian claim that the Church of Our Lady Mary of Zion in Ethiopia claims to have the Ark. However, many historians believe that what they actually have is what's called a tableau, which is like a box, which is like almost a coffin. And it's a consecrated replica used as a decoy to lead invaders away from the original. There's the shadow theory. Every synagogue has an ark, and it is possible that during the siege of Jerusalem, several high-quality replicas were moved in different directions to confuse the enemy. That's what I believe, and I'm going to tell you why in just a minute. You see, God gave specific instructions when the Ark of the Covenant was built. Those are biblical dimensions that are given in the book of Exodus, chapter 25, verse 10, if you want to look. But here's some mathematical ratios that I'm not so sure people think about. And when I talk about this to other historians and scholars, they get stumped. And it's because the ark was built using cubit, roughly 18 inches or 45.7 centimeters, something like that. But there's a numerical frequency that goes along with this. And the numerical thing that goes along with this, the frequency, is because God demanded that everything be built on half. Its length was 2.5 or 2.5 cubits. The width is 1.5 cubits, and the height was 1.5 cubits. Numerology, when you work all those up, is a 5:3:3 ratio. It is a half factor. And the half factor is that God specifically commanded that half measures in numerology, and the number 0.5 represents a bridge or a doorway and something that is incomplete on earth that finds its other half in the spiritual realm. See, there's a lot more behind this than what really meets the eye. And what people want is the power and the glory that is the power and the glory that goes along with it. And I mean, it is so powerful. There's a capacitor math too. These dimensions, they are layered in gold, in wood, and in gold, create a surface area capable of holding a massive electrostatic charge. If the ark is the mercy seat, in which it is, it functions as a literal physical to spiritual grounding point. It is a huge conductor. It's huge. Now, here's some things that are very interesting, and I'm going to put this up here for you because I want you to see it. There was a university in Minnesota that took these exact directions and dimensions given by God and made a replica of the Ark of the Covenant. And it became so charged and so powerful that they had to dismantle it. Now, can you imagine? That is what, so that's the whole thing. Why do people feel that they can get, listen, if I saw this, if I was out and I saw this and I was going on my little merry way, I can certainly tell you that I would not go anywhere near it. I would not, because it is sacred and it is supposed to be sacred. So, my darlings, there is something that was told to Jeremiah. Now, it is in the book of Maccabees. But wait a minute, Zelda, Maccabees isn't in my Bible. Well, let me tell you. It was removed by the Protestant church because they just felt, well, it was a repeat of some other things, so we're just not going to talk about it. But guess who bought me the 1611 Bible a while back? And guess what 2 books are in this Bible? And believe me, it takes a minute to get to read these. It's books 1st and 2nd of Maccabees. Now, I'm not going to read that to you. They were made of wood. The poles were made of wood. It basically, one of the most popular historical theories is that the prophet Jeremiah received a divine warning, before the city fell. And according to the book of 2nd Maccabees, he took the ark, the tabernacle, and the altar of incense to Mount Nebo. And that's where Moses died. And just let me give you a little hint. Moses' body was never found. And someday there will be 2 witnesses that go to the Mount of Olives. And when Christ ascended when he was resurrected, he made reference to 2. And I personally believe that those 2 are Elijah and Moses. We will see that one day. So the curse, Jeremiah supposedly told his followers that the place must remain unknown until God gathers his people together again. Some Jewish traditions found in the Talmud suggest that King Josiah, a few decades before the invasion, foresaw the destruction and had the Levites hide the ark in deep labyrinth-type wood and stone vault directly beneath the Temple Mount. So you see, there's all kinds of different theories, but I'm going to tell you what I believe the most. And I'm also going to say this. I have been studying the scriptures, the word, the manuscripts since 1994. And believe me, the more you think you know, the more you got to study. This is what I believe, because it makes the most sense. In the book of Rebu or Revelation, in chapter 11, verse 19, this is what it reads. Then God's temple in heaven was opened, and within this temple was seen the ark of his covenant. And there came flashes of lightning, rumblings, peals of thunder, an earthquake, and severe hailstorm. This verse specifically places the ark in the heavenly temple, supporting the idea that the earthly version was either a shadow of the heavenly one or physically translated there to keep it from falling into the wrong hands. That's what I believe. I believe they are acacia wood. They are acacia. Let me spell it for you correctly. It's not Acacia, it is Acacia wood and gold. So the point of the matter is, we have all of these people looking for the Ark of the Covenant when God just may still have it himself. Because you see, the lid of the covenant, or the Ark of the Covenant, is referred to as the mercy seat. And that's where Jesus resides. And that's when Jesus, when he was talking to Peter, said, "Get thee behind me, Satan." That's where Michael has him in chains, waiting for the great war in heaven until Michael boots him out and comes to earth. You see, in Job's time, the devil was able to walk around here on earth, and he lost that privilege. We'll talk about that one day. He lost that privilege, and then he is bound in heaven, waiting. But that doesn't mean that his spirit can't be here, and it doesn't mean that his lower dominions and the lower astral and everything else can't be here. So I'm telling you, my darlings, when you hear this, I want you to think, dig deep, and I want you to think, what are the reasons that the people want the Ark of the Covenant? The tablets are no longer there, or the 10 Commandments, and they are, what is it? It makes me want to think, well, remember Indiana Jones and Raiders of the Lost Ark? Remember that? It kind of is like that. That's right. Humans do want power. And I believe that that's why God took it. Let me see this. The truth is elusive, my darlings. Because here it is. In the second book of Maccabees, which is chapter 2, verse 4 through 8, there was a command to Jeremiah, and he receives a divine warning, which is considered an oracle, and is told to take the tent, the ark, and the altar of incense to the mountain that Moses climbed to see God's inheritance. Then there was the burial. In verse 5, Jeremiah finds a cave dwelling, places the items inside, and seals the entrance. Then there was the failed search in verse 6. Some of his followers tried to follow him and mark the path so they could find it later, but they were unable to find the cave. The reprimand came in verse 7 when Jeremiah heard that they were trying to mark the spot. He got angry and told them, "This place is to remain unknown until God gathers his people together again and shows them his mercy." Then there is the promise in verse 8. It says that only then will the glory of the Lord and the cloud appear again, just as they did for Moses and Solomon. So you see, my darlings, I'm just going to tell you, that's the whole thing. That's the whole thing. I do believe that it can be a logistical nightmare for many who decided that they want to just take this liberty and go and look for this beautiful Ark of the Covenant. I love it. I love it. So now, my darlings, I hope that answers some of your questions, because when you think of God and his wisdom and hiding it, imagine, let's just say hypothetically, if someone, one of these treasure hunters, what if someone found it, which I do not believe they ever will. What if someone found it and they had an offer of money from, let's just say, a person or even a particular government? I want you to think of the power that is behind this Ark of the Covenant. If it is too powerful that a university has to dismantle it, it acts as though it is a conductor, an electric conductor, but it is extremely powerful. And this is why. And it's the way to communicate. It's the way to communicate between heaven and God's following. So there we go. Now, my darlings, I hope that answers some of your questions, because I can see it all the time. That's right. Imagine if the mercy seat of the Ark of the Covenant fell into the evil hands. Well, Jesus is on the mercy seat right now. But imagine that. And I have to wonder, people are always looking also for the chalice, for the Ark of the Covenant. So that's it, my darlings. All right, so let's go now to the Vatican. Here we are, my darlings. Now get ready. This is Vatican City. Welcome. It looks sprawled out, and I wanted to give you an idea of what this looks like. Because, my darlings, this is all about 50 miles worth of relics that are historical and religious, and especially religious. And not only that, not only is it because it is above ground, think of what's below ground, and I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you what I know. In the Ark of the Covenant, I'm sorry, hello, not the Ark of the Covenant, the Vatican City, there's a room, and I'm going to show you here. This kind of sorta maybe is my idea of this is what it looks like. There's a particular room that is called the Vatican Apostolic Archives, formerly known as the Archivium Secretum, Secret Archives. There are strict rules. You may, my darlings, visit this archive, this apostolic archive, if you pass the test. Now, you can't just walk in, you can't buy a ticket, you can't just say, hello, I'm here. You have to be a verified scholar. You have to be in a specific research project and a letter of recommendation from a recognized university or a research institute. It takes 10 to 15 years on a waiting list to get into these archives. Now, this is just one little room that I had just to, I wanted to show you, okay? There is considered to be a no touching rule. It is strictly forbidden to bring pens, bags, cameras, and you're only allowed to bring an erasable pencil and a laptop. For the most fragile items like 1,000-year-old papyrus and older, you can't simply touch them. You have to have someone, and which are just like, looks like one of these two gentlemen that are on your screen, is called an archivist or a page turner. And this person oversees the whole process, stands and watches you to ensure that the oils from human skin don't dissolve ancient ink. Now, here's the real rub. While it may take 15 years to get a yes and get the documents, there has been a 75-year blackout period. So the files that were there for World War II were kept under lock and key for decades and were only recently opened by Pope Francis. Now, again, this archive contains 50 miles of shelving, mostly located in 2-story underground reinforced concrete bunkers and tunnels. That should raise your little eyebrow a little bit. That should raise your little eyebrow. Because my question is, why do they have them? There are holy relics, and just wait till you see what's a few little things here. The trial of Galileo is one of the relics that is there. The original handwritten transcripts when he was forced to recant his heresy that the earth moves around the sun. There we go. The letter from Henry VIII, a massive scroll signed by 81 English noblemen asking the Pope to annul Henry's marriage to Catherine of Aragon, and this letter essentially started the Church of England. So that is there. The Templar scrolls, records of the trials of the Knights of Templar. So don't ever let anybody tell you, pardon me, tickle. Don't anybody ever don't allow anyone to tell you that the Knights Templar were not real, because they were. And there's a big thing about that. And just a little something about that. We did a little bit of genealogy, and my son is related genealogically to Knights of Templar. The records of the trials of the Knights of Templars, including the Chinon parchment, which suggests that the Pope actually tried to absolve them before they were executed. There's a lot. Now, let's talk about the not so holy stuff that are supposed to be there, which from every point that I've heard and researched, and believe me, I've done a lot of research on this. So let me put these papers down. Let me show you this next thing, my darlings, because you're going to like this. This next visual on your screen is called a chronovisor. Now, chrono means time, visor means vision. The chronovisor is a machine built by a priest in the 1950s that could supposedly capture images from the past, as in the crucifixion. People believe the blueprints of the device itself are hidden in the vault. You know what this means, my darlings? Time travel. Because if they didn't think that it was real, they wouldn't be hiding it in the vault. Those little popes. Then there are Jesus' descendants files. Rumors of genealogies that have been traced from the bloodline of Jesus. Then also the lost Gospels. The texts similar to those found at Nag Hammadi that were excluded from the Bible because they were too mystical or challenged the church's power. So they are there too. Now, take a look at this. I want you to take a look at this. Oh, let me see here. There we go. There we go. I want you to take a look at that. It is supposed to have been capturing a lot of scenes from the past. Now, the reason I have heard and I have thought and I have researched that they want to see these scenes of the past, why would anyone want to do that? Could it be that they want to maybe manipulate or to change the outcome of history? Because that's what they've always done. What we read in our history books are not really what happened most generally 99% of the time. It's been changed and rearranged. So now get this one. This one is going to knock your socks off. Oh, I'm sorry, Rachel. I'm very sorry, my darling. May she rest well, my darling. Patricia, it's okay. Don't worry. Don't worry. No, this is an actual object. These are actual objects. Now, these are my obviously I've not seen these things, but I've made these images based on what it is that I've read that has been written. So if you take a look here, my darlings, just take a look at this. This is called the obsidian mirror. It is a polished glass mirror that a famous occultist and advisor to Queen Elizabeth I, John Dee, owned and said it was a devil's looking glass made of obsidian, polished obsidian, and theorists believe that the Vatican confiscated it, and it's even more powerful than during the Inquisition to keep its channel to the underworld close. The power, it is said, that the mirror does not reflect your face, it reflects your soul or the shadow standing behind you. Yeah, that's something I really will pass on seeing. Then, and I don't have one for this because I didn't make one on purpose, but I'm going to leave this up. There is technically a demon trap that is in the lower archives of the Vatican Archives. And it is said that during a high-level exorcism in the 16th century, a powerful entity was bound into a physical object, which was a mirror. And because it was too strong to be sent back to the abyss at the time, they've hidden it. They have a no-touch. You're not supposed to watch it. You're not supposed to see it. You're not supposed to be in it. You're not supposed to be near it. And it's considered to be in a hidden room. It's called a lapis diaboli, which is the devil's stone. And basically, it is said to talk back to you. There's supposed to be another one that is like this. It is supposed to be this way. But unfortunately, they don't know where it is in the world. They don't know where it is in the world. Believe me, there are more demons than just giants. Now, we talked about mirrors. The one thing about mirrors is that the Vatican believes that if you have a hall of mirrors, that a demon will look and be so disgusted that they leave. I don't see that. My theory and everything that I've always been taught are mirrors are and can be a portal, and especially considered to be a vortex. And that is the biggest thing. Because here's the thing, my darling. A lot of these things that are here, exorcisms and mirrors, demons are said to be repulsed against a mirror. I've never seen it. I've seen demons come through mirrors. So that, my darling, is your presentation for this evening. And let me go through these visuals again just to make sure that I haven't missed anything. And right here is considered to be, it is my rendition of what just one of the entrances of the archive room is. They use them for forensic studies. From everything that I've heard there, they have more than you could ever think about time travel. And they even have tunnels. The tunnels are filled with gold. And some of them are escape tunnels. Linda, we're not talking about this right now, okay? So you don't have to go anywhere. Now here we are. This right now is the Ark of the Covenant. This Ark of the Covenant is here because I want you to see really how lovely and beautiful that God's dimensions were. There's another rendition of it. This also is the chronovisor. Now this makes me sit up a little bit. It makes me sit and think. What really? Now it is said that there is a picture, like I said, of Christ on the cross on a crucifixion. But the way they described it was not really correct. They had Jesus' hands up like this, and he wouldn't have been that way. It would have been out because it was Romans, okay? So there we are. And there is the black obsidian mirror. This is the Ark of the Covenant that was being built by a university, I believe it's University of Minnesota, that they wanted to do a little bit of questioning about And they got it all right. From my understanding, it practically shut down the whole university as far as electrical concerned. So they had to dismantle it. This is a rendition of Uzzah when they lost their footing and he reached out to save the Ark of the Covenant. God struck him down. I just heard a big noise behind me. Well, we hope it wasn't Uzzah. We hope it wasn't Uzzah. And there are two archivists in an archive room waiting for the next person to come in and say hello. They've just opened it again, amazingly enough, after the last 75 years. Can you imagine? Marcia, thank you so much for your generous Venmo, my darling. I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you. Last but not least, let's take a look at Vatican City once again. Imagine 50 miles all wrapped up in this particular area, and each one has recorded relics. Each one. And they go underground as well. And they also say that they're in tunnels. Okay, I have questions. All right, here's the whole thing, my darlings. I think we need to let's ditch the monks, put on the fireplace, and let's start talking. There we go. Let's start talking. Let's see what it is, because I know I've been seeing a lot of you chatting. Let me change my background because I don't want to be stuck in the archive room all night. So where are we going to go? Let's see. Oh, here we are. There we are. We'll go right there. Now, let me see if I can turn up the fireplace. There we go. See, there's the fireplace, my darlings. All is well in the land of the house of Zelda. Gina, yes. Now listen, I don't know everything. And I want you to know something about researching something like this, because when I research, it's like not surface stuff. If there's a different language, I'll do what I can to find out what it is, how to pronounce it, what it means, and if there's any variations. And a lot of these things are mentioned in several different languages. You know, sometimes reading the scripture is like reading tomorrow's newspaper. It kind of tells you. How old do you think Earth is from your research? And I know you have. Ha ha. Bless you, my darling. I believe that the Earth is millions of years old. I believe it's millions of years old. Only because, and listen, I'm going to show you something next week that is going to just blow your minds. I'm going to show you the giants of Colorado. And I bet you many of you have heard of it too. I read somewhere that the Vatican is built over original soil and structures from Roman times. They are supposed to be layered cities. Supposedly, allegedly. Here's the thing. When you listen, the Vatican has a bank. They own the biggest insurance company in the world. The Vatican has made loans to the United States. The Vatican has more money than you can shake a stick at. They have their own loaning and departments and so on and so forth. And when you get that big, there is something to all this. Hi, Brenda. Thanks for being here from Canada. And no, the giants in Colorado are not trees. You'll see them. You'll see them. Okay. Are there other items? No. In fact, I do not believe that the 10 Commandments are there any longer. Everybody is saying something about audio. I don't have any indication that in fact, my lights are going good on my audio. So I don't know. You may want to reboot or something, but StreamYard is just been turds. Thank you, Claudia. They are Amazon press-ons. Yeah, you may have to go back out and come back in. Okay, thank you. Thanks, everyone. There, yes, a lot of the giant stuff in it. And I'll tell you what else we may get into is also what is in the Grand Canyon. And when I was there in the Grand Canyon, and back in my days when I liked to go mosey around among the rocks and all that stuff, don't ask me why, we were shooed around from certain places. And there's also now, the Vatican is its own government. That is correct. There is a place now in Kentucky where they have found that there's a waterway that broke loose, and I'm looking for that. There's a waterway that has broken loose that is showing some type of, there's some type of archive room, and there's hieroglyphics, and there's kind of all those kind of things in there. There's so much more than everything to meet the eye, and it's time. Do you feel like this is an awakening? I sure do, because we have been kept from so many things. And thank you so much, Barbara. Bless you, my darling. You are fine. It's generous. And listen, many of you have said, I can't give. You know what helps me? If you see an ad, can you just try to plow through the ad? That helps more than that. That also counts. So I appreciate that. So let me turn this chat on because I want everybody to see the chat because you guys are awesome. Let me see. Hello there from Maine to Maine. Okay, Mama, I saw you in the chat earlier asking why I wear fingerless gloves. Because I like to. Just because I think they're pretty and I like to, and I think it goes along with the readings, and many times it helps to calm down some energy that I feel that are coming, that sort of thing. I read. Let me just give you an idea. Let me just give you an idea. When I get up in the morning, I either have a cup of tea or a cup of coffee. I kind of just mosey around, check on everything, make sure everything is, A-okay. I go out the front door, I stand in the bare feet and just kind of ground myself. I say hello to the world. Hello, world. I say hello to the trees. I say hello to everything. I come back in. I feed the kitties because by that time they're looking at me like I will be breakfast. And I'm not a breakfast person, so I don't eat breakfast. And so I sit down and I meditate a little bit and I give thanks and I sit down with my journals and I plan content. I plan what I have to read on that day. I look at the news. I look at Twitter, and then that's it. I start going from there. And I read probably until about 7 o'clock at night if I am not if I'm not going live. if I have a project like I did for Veil Keep, or like for this one tonight, or there's other things going on that takes up my time, I spend a couple of hours a day until I'm satisfied with what the project and what I can bring. Believe me, there's so much more that I could talk to you about on the Ark of the Covenant and everything else. But it's heavy. It's heavy. Little dribs. I don't want to overload your donkeys, okay, or your camels. So, yeah. So I just think it's time that we, pardon me, tickle. I just think it's time. I mean, you want to know what my biggest thing was tonight that I was concerned about? I text Mrs. Marie with True Oracle and I said, you know what? I can't decide what glasses that I'm going to wear. So I guess I'm going to wear both pair. There we go. There we go. And so there we are, my darling. So yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah, the ads help. And you know what? I'll give you a little idea. When you upload a video, everybody's saying, "Oh, it's just so easy." What's the big deal? Whatever. Well, because if the advertisers don't like what you're doing, they complain to the tubes of you, and then the tubes of you will either take down your video because they're losing revenue. Because see, that's how the tubes of you makes their money. Pardon me. They make it from the advertisers. And we give them 30% out of our earnings for the privilege of coming on here. And quite frankly, I think that's a bargain. That's a bargain because I couldn't do it. So there we go. I love it. But when you upload a video, you have certain sections and levels that you go through. And you come to the part where it says to be monetized, and that's where the ads are on there. And it says, is anything copyrighted? Are you talking about anything that's going to hurt anybody's feelings? Are you being a stinker? Are you talking about stuff that you shouldn't be talking about? Are you cussing like a heathen? Are you doing this? Are you doing that? And you have to say, no, I'm not, none of the above. So that way, if you say none of the above and you click on it and then you have a problem in your stream. So that's why I'm really careful. People say, why don't you just name names? Why don't you do that? Because I'm careful. I have worked so hard on this channel and on True Oracle and on Veil Keep. There ain't no way I'm going to mess that up. So that's the whole thing. What glue do I use with my nails? The best glue I'm going to tell you is that I use is Glamnetic. And get the kit that has the remover. Because if you want to change out your nails, it's so easy. And then you can save your nails. You can save your nails for another time. I don't throw these away. This one I will because I split him right down the middle. Oh, I'm so not happy. But I'll save these. I'll put some other ones on. Tickety boom. Sometimes I give them a rest and I wear polish and then we get back to it again. I like nails. You're welcome, Mama. Let me see. There you go. See, Captain? See, you just kind of have to get up and kind of do your thing. Honey, don't you worry about it. You know what? You're giving here. By being here, you're giving to me. By being here, you're giving to me. And that helps me so much. And I want to thank you so much for that. Okay, so let me see. Yeah, it helps when you watch the commercials and when you watch the ads. I mean, yeah, they can be painful. I know. I've been through that. But also, if you don't ever want to, then you get YouTube Premium, and I get just a little few pennies, frankly, pennies, when you do that. So, my darling Cindy, I'm pretty aware of things, and we're not going to talk about that stuff here. we're just I'm not going to bring that up because that is one rabbit hole that I just don't feel that it's good to go down. Um, yeah, yeah, you're not supposed to explore any of these. I mean, when I was there, I was with my Navy commander husband, and the black helicopters came out, and he was like, "Oh, we better skedaddle." Men dressed in tactical, all black, white vans coming around, and they just kind of look at you like, we're going to sit here and we're going to look at you and we're going to fly over until you're so intimidated you just leave and never come back. And that's true. That's true. Supposedly, yes. And here is the vision of the chronovisor. See, this is the chronovisor that I have. There is considered to be the horn on the right side so that there is sound that comes through. Watch National Treasure. I wish, who was that? Nicolas Cage. I love that movie. Nicolas Cage. I love that. Thank you so much, Child Junkie. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Oh, look at that cute little. I love your image for your profile. Thank you. You like the black pear better? Well, you know what? Here we go. Now, if you can see, look, you can't really see it, but there's blue, and I'm looking for a blue pair that I like. Don't know. I can't find one. There's every color. And then this one was kind of more like a turtle shelly type thing. Hello. And then here, let's just hello, welcome to HOZ, not to be confused with QVC. Here we are. There are my reading glasses that I usually read. And why? Well, because I'm constantly looking over my glasses when I'm reading at the computer or wherever, blah, blah. And the last pair that I have is one of my favorites, and that is this one. So, somebody asked me the other day how many pairs of glasses. I have 27 pairs. And I like and it's because I'm, here live, but it's because I get them in the sets, but I like the wire rims. I got some wire rims. They kind of make me look like Studious Library something from the 50s, but it's okay. I like them. What brand of witch hazel do I use? I'm not sure, but it's organic. Not sure. It's got a yellow top. That's all I know. Sorry, I couldn't help more. Well, listen, the Grand Canyon can be extremely intimidating. Would I want to go back? It's not really my gig. It's beautiful when you're there. You know what I felt like? Remember Chevy Chase when he was there in that vacation movie when he stood there and he had his arm around what's her name and he was like, okay, 1, 2, 3. That's kind of how I felt. It's like, okay, all right, we've seen it. All right, let's go. Load up the car. Okay, here we are. There we are. So there we are, my darlings. I watched the ads. I ended up buying makeup and bras from them. See, there you go. There you go. Thank you, Raven. Thank you. I'm going to be going live, and what I'm going to be doing is adding on Help I'm Haunted, and we're going to be doing more stories. I'm going to do 4 more of those. Because I have to kind of take breaks. I'm reading and going live so much that sometimes I just feel like I was going to say impale myself, but no, I don't. So please go, Daphne. I'll go as live as much as I can. Okay. I'm slow. No, you're all right. I was wondering if the obsidian stone, any relation to the obsidian mirror. I own quite a few crystals on my altar. The obsidian stone is related to the obsidian, but it has to be extremely highly polished. I'm sure you're okay. And it would have to be a very large piece. So having a small piece, and I just wouldn't put it in a rock tumbler and get it really polishy or whatever. But look, anything reflects, right? When I've done remote viewing and scrying, I use a small iron skillet. I know sometimes people laugh, but that works the best for me because iron repels negativity and demons. So I use iron. I can't deal with these today. So I use the iron skillet, and I will scry or remote view in the iron skillet, and I put water in it, and I do the tap method. That's how I learned. That's just pretty much it. So, are you watching from Kentucky? Oh, my eye is watering. So glad that you are. Thanks for being here. Trial junkie, you do have to be so careful if you're being smart. You will be careful. Yeah. I mean, quite frankly, there are a lot of big channels. I mean, I've seen channels of people that I am acquainted with when they're talking about the island guy. During the middle of a live, he's just gone. And they'll take down the stream. They'll take down, and that was by a big broadcasting company, not here in the US, but in the UK. So I'm careful. I'm careful. Have to be. And thanks, Trial Junkie, too. Love that you're here, too. I love when I get all biblical. Well, listen. Here's the thing. When my mother passed away in 1994, there was so much more. I always knew there was so much more than meet the eye. And she was very devout, I'm going to say that, but she was very gullible from some of these online pastors. And it used to drive my sister and I up the wall. And there were times I had to be really careful about what I said because I would say, Mom, the Bible is not right. And she would get her feelings hurt so bad because she felt just like I do. It's the Word of God. But we all know that sometimes things get lost in translation between mouth, pen, and paper. The ones that I trust the most are the four Gospels, only because they were used to writing down, but that doesn't mean that there's not more. Somebody was asking me, let me get something. Somebody was asking me something about Ethiopian Bibles. There's all kinds of, now there's some out there that are just trash. Just want you to know, you got to be careful. Got to be careful. But I'm going to read you something here that is one of my favorite verses in the whole world. It's in the last chapter of John. And it's the last verse. And this is how it reads. So it's John chapter 21, verse 25. And there are so many other things what Jesus did, to the which, if they should be written every one, I suppose that even the world itself could not contain the books that should be written in. Amen. And you know what that means? That means that while Jesus was here, he did so many things that weren't captured, weren't recorded, weren't talked about, that if there were the possibility of writing down everything, we would run out of room to contain the books. That means he was helping everybody. And I mean, my mom never liked it, but that was my favorite. And I would tell her, I would say, yeah, that verse just kind of gives, that verse just kind of gives me this, Jesus walking down the street. Oh, you're sick, you're healed. Oh, you're dead, get up. You're not any longer. Oh, you got a limp? Forget it. Get up and walk. Oh, you got this? Oh, you're hungry? You need to pay a bill? And you have to think, dear God, that is like wild. That's when I ran across that first, I was like, that is so cool. And I got to tell you what, I love my 1611 Bible. It's got things in there and an apocrypha, which is like a mystery of the Bible, that I always like reading the apocryphas. Let me see something here a second. But I don't like the word conspiracy, but I'm going to tell you something. I got to find new because all my theories are true. Oh my gosh, I'm just joking when I say that. If you're around me, I love to laugh. And you know what? We may laugh because, after all, right? Well, we will discuss the Euphrates River drying up, but I want you to know something. There was a thing, it's been a little while ago, about the red heifer. And I'm going to tell you, you want to make me mad? Start putting out some type of crap that you're using the word to frighten and manipulate and to get clicks. I had somebody on here the other day say, oh, well, Zelda, you're doing this just to get clicks. Get out. I don't need your click. I don't need your click. Oh my gosh. I'm not a clicker girl. I don't need to clickbait. I'm not into that. You say what you say and you do what you do. And that's it. Now I'm into this and now I need to figure out what I was wanting to look at. See, Durant's daughter, you lost your Sunday school class for asking. I got kicked out of a church. And you could hear me laughing the whole entire time. I did. I got kicked out of a church. I'll tell you that tale in a minute. I wanted to I wanted to share something, and I guess I didn't mark it. So there we are. My loss. And your gain, because I'm not going to talk about it. All right. All right. There you go, Robert. I'm sorry, Willard. I can't answer any of those questions on there, my darling. Not here. I can't. We have to laugh, right? I'm going to tell you about the time I got kicked out of the church. And it was a church. Wait till you guys hear this. Oh boy. Don't judge. Wait, let me put my church bell on. I think the Ethiopian Bible, there you have to be, it's like any other Bible. You have to be careful and cautious because sometimes um, things get twisted. And remember, when Jesus was in after the 40 days and 40 nights, the angels had to come and minister to him because the devil wore him out. You got to be sharp and on your toes because, boy, some of that stuff can be twisted. Yeah. There we go. So just be cautious and careful. I prefer the King James Version Companion Bible, and I have this 1611 Bible because it's got some books that were taken out by the Protestants, who, in my view, are the beer-drinking Catholics. All right, so here we are, my darlings. Welcome, welcome. Come on in. Welcome, welcome. Okay, now, I'm going to tell you about how I got kicked out of the church. This was because I grew up Protestant, but I just really consider myself non-denominational now. And so I was going to this one church in Tennessee because this particular woman who was older wanted me to go. And I would sing in church because they didn't have a choir. And, I knew all those old-timey songs. And there were a lot of old-timey people that, they wanted to hear these. And, the old rugged cross. And, boy, some of those you can hardly get through without tearing up, right? So this was... Pardon me, I just hit my ring. This was a time period where the pastor was very small. His wife was very tall and he was very small. I'm just going to tell you something. He was so little that I'm 5'10". I felt embarrassed to stand by him because it felt like he just came up to my waist. And one time there was a dinner at the church and somebody said, "Oh my gosh, what would you consider him?" And out of my mouth came fun-sized, like those little candy bars that aren't the full. Okay, that was funny. That was funny. So anyway, okay. So anyway, they asked me to get up and speak one time at the church. So I decided that I wanted to get up and speak, and somebody asked me to speak on the rapture. Oh boy. And I said, "Are you sure you want me to do that?" Well, before that, it was Ishtar. It was Resurrection Day. And this little fun-sized pastor was outside, and we were in the cemetery. Is it a cemetery? What is beside the church? The cemetery or a graveyard? I don't know. I think it's the graveyard. Don't know. Anyway, whatever it was that is beside the church, we had their Easter sunrise service. So and I'm going to tell you something. He got ordained by Kenneth Copeland. And when you get ordained by Kenneth Copeland, then your spouse is automatically ordained. And I know what it was. They wanted me to talk about the millennium that came after the rapture. So, boy. So anyway, we are at this sunrise service. and somebody else was a talking, and I was supposed to be getting up and singing. And boy, I belted out a good one. It just rang all over the hills of Tennessee. So I'm standing there thinking, oh boy, when do we eat? Right? Because it's now 6 o'clock in the morning and I had been up since the crack. So here's the deal. So we're standing there and this other person was talking. All of a sudden, Mr. Fun Size Pastor gets up and says, you know something? And he's got this Southern accent, but it's not really a Southern accent. I mean, I guess I don't know what it is. So he gets there. He stands there and he says, you know what? Just a minute. I have to interrupt this. I have to interrupt this. You know what? I'm just hoping today, oh boy, here we go, that the Lord comes back. And I'm sitting here thinking, oh, and if he starts going on like this, and in my mind, I'm laughing and I'm thinking, what's he going to start doing? Jumping over the tombstones. And now, see, that's how my mind, and I'm sitting here going, oh, stop it, Zelda, no. So he's like, and I'm just standing here and I'm hoping and I'm a wishing that these graves open and the Lord comes back and we all go to heaven. Now, when somebody says something like that, and they could see that I had this quizzical look on my face, right? And they're waiting for me because at this point, maybe they're waiting to get a word in. So we get down, they're flipping pancakes. And Pastor Fun Size is going on. He is going on. Oh, we are so happy today. And he's just going on, and they're standing there flipping, and I'm sitting there thinking, I think I'd better go home. Because when I'm done, this church might set on fire, and I'm not so sure that's going to be a good look. So I said, I'm kind of tired, and I'm expecting a few phone calls from my family. I think I'm just going to go. No, you can't. You got to sing us another song, Sister Zelda. I'm thinking, oh, Lord, what is it going to be? Thank God in Greyhound she's gone is what it should be. So my mind is going 50. So I'm singing a song, blah, blah, blah. So he stands there and he says, Sister Zelda, what is it? What do you think? What do you think about what if the Lord came back and those graves outside opened up? And I said, well, if you really want to know, it's an impossibility. And it was like the whole place just went quiet. I mean, you could hear the forks drop on the pancake plates. The old timers' eyes were getting, how dare she speak back to Pastor Fun Size? And I'm sitting there thinking, oh, what have I done? I could be burned at the stake today. Who knows? We're going to make a good time out of it. And I said, so, and he says, oh no, you've got to tell us now where this devil gospel came from. Oh. And I said, look out here. Look out here. You better get your Bible out. Get your Bibles out. Let's go. Let's go. So I said, it is an impossibility, because when you pass away, your soul does not remain in the grave. And it says and I said, take a look in the book of Ecclesiastes, when the silver cord breaks, you immediately go to the Creator. And you don't need, it pretty much says, we don't need these flesh bodies any longer. Get rid of the meat suit, put it in the ground. We have no more use for it. Do whatever you want to. You can be cremated, it's okay. God doesn't care as long as your soul is on the right side. And he's like, I said, so you standing here and misleading your flock, Pastor, you need to be thinking about what you're saying and the dramatics of it all, because, hey, this makes you feel big and tall. I know it does. But there's a lot that has to happen before Christ comes bursting through the clouds, and he's not going to be the first one. And he looked at me, and I said, you can call me devil scripture all you want to, but I'm walking out that door. And how dare you say that to me when you are the one who is touting false doctrine? And there was this old man in the back, stands up and goes, he says, I've been wanting to say something about that. Me and my wife were just kind of sitting here and looking at each other. And we didn't know whether we should leave or what. And I said, get up and leave. I said, this is why they are struggling to keep their doors open. This is why they have revivals. This is why they pass the collection plate 15 times during a service, because when it ain't enough and it's just pennies, they pass it again. If he were teaching the true word of God, he wouldn't have to pass the plate at all. And if I had my own church, I would never have a collection, because if I were teaching the truth, God would take care of me, and that's all I need. Oh, stop. And I said, don't call me. I won't step foot into this again. Well, then, they were gone. And the pastor, Fun Size, and his wife were gone. Yes, I did that. They were gone. And they asked me to guess who got up and talked about the millennium. Talked about there is no technical rapture. It's a word that was made up. It certainly is not in this Bible. It's not in your Ethiopian Bibles. It's not in anywhere. It just basically says to meet in the air. Well, the Greek word is pneuma, which is the same word where pneumatic came from. And the bottom line is, there will be that day when we all come together. But it's not going to be this pick and choose, because God's not like that. He's not going to say, okay, this one gets to go, this one gets to go. But their baby's going to be left behind in the crib. But we're going to take this one and we're going to take that one. And stop it. That's nonsense. And we're not going to tout nonsense. Not here. It's all about the truth. And the truth of the matter is, the rapture theory came from a woman who was a little on the touch side. Her name was, and I'll talk about it someday, at the turn of the last century, Margaret MacDonald or something like that, who said she had a dream, and she dreamt that Jesus came and took everybody with him, and it was just a rapturous time. It's called the rapture theory, and it's not true. It's not biblical. And some priests, rabbis, Protestants, this person, that person, this person, that person, all came in and said, oh. Then they started having meetings. Then they started thinking about, oh, listen, we could really hold parishioners to come to church if we started teaching about the rapture theory. My grandfather was a Methodist minister, Zelda's husband. He never taught that because he said it's not in the Bible. And the old folk, it scares the old folks. And it does scare, because thinking about, oh, I'm just driving my car down the road someday, and all of a sudden there's a flash of light, and boom, and you crash the car that you're in, and you take out a family, but that's okay. You got in the rapture. Hallelujah. Oh, my heck. Let's not get so romantic about the whole thing. There's a time and there's a place. And in the book of Matthew, it goes right down. Someday we'll talk about it, and I'll tell you the truth, and I'll give you biblical scripture to back it up. And who comes back first, pretending to be Christ? You see, everybody wants to say, oh, the Antichrist. Well, the Antichrist they think is here on earth. No, he's not. It is the serpent. It is the devil. He's not anti. He is, the Greek word is for instead of. If you read the Greek, that it's in the Hebrew and the Chaldee of what it's supposed to really be, it is not anti, because anti is like, I don't like him. Well, we know the devil doesn't like him. And for those of you who say, oh, well, angels, look, he was an angel too when he fell. So, look, here's the deal. All you have to do is believe and try your hardest. Walk the best you can. Try to keep the 10 Commandments. We're not perfect. That's why forgiveness is here. But hilariously enough, my darlings, when you hear, oh, the Antichrist, who is the Antichrist? Listen, when I was growing up, everybody thought it was Henry Kissinger. No, he was just a bad guy. There is nobody that is here that is the Antichrist. There will be one that comes that will be the instead of, that will fool the masses into thinking that he is. That's where you better be careful. And it's not that time, because there's things that have to happen first. And it tells in the Bible what has to happen first. And everybody's like, oh gosh, the Lord is going to come back. Look at all these wars. No. It says, there shall be wars and rumors of wars, but he has not come back yet. And it will be during a time of peace that he comes back. Why? Well, because everybody's going to be off guard. Everybody's praying up. Everybody's going to be thinking, oh, my heck. Oh, we're going to go. So I'm going to pray, and I'm going to be that perfect person. And then the moment that the war is over and everybody's back and all kumbaya, singing around the campfire, then you know what? The stinky comes out and everybody kind of goes back to themselves. And that's, my darlings, when he will appear. But he's not going to come back first. And that's where you talk about. And there's another thing. Everybody's like, oh, and that's what Mr. Fun-Sized Pastor was always, oh, there's going to be 3.5 months. There's going to be, or not 3, there's going to be 3 years. There's going to be 2.5 years. There's going to be 5 years of tribulation. No, there's not. No, there's not. Christ said in the book of Matthew that he reduced that. He reduced it for the elect. Who are the elect? The elect are the ones who know the truth. So it's going to be maybe 2.5, 3.5 months. of tribulation, not this 5 years, not 7 years, not all this craziness that they try to push down your throat. No. Sorry, I get off on. There's Zelda on her pulpit again. Somebody else had a question here. Sorry. We'll talk about these things, but I just don't want to overload you because sometimes it can be a lot for people to hear. And it's stuff that you got to pray about, think about, go forward. Okay? Pray about, think about. I want to get that. Let me see who. I want to see who has this. Let me see. There's one that's called The Rapture Trap. There's another one here. Let me see who it is. Who was that person? I want to tell you who it is. It was Margaret MacDonald from 1815 to 1840 was a Scottish woman who in 1830 documented a detailed vision in Port Glasgow, Scotland, which some researchers claim is the original source of the modern pre-tribulation rapture doctrine. Her vision described a two-stage return of Jesus, separating the gathering of believers from the later coming into judgment. That's what it is. And there's a great book about it. And I wish I could find out where that book is, but that's who that is. Margaret MacDonald, The Fake Rapture Document. Don't let them tell you. Truthful. Does the M on my hand mean God has? I heard that from someone. Well, honey, I don't know where the M on your hand is. And quite frankly, the fact that you're actually asking means that God has a special purpose for you. Okay? Thank you, Patty. Oh, okay. Somebody had something. The general. Now there are 11 scientists who are missing. And this last one, this young lady, her parents worked for some 3-letter agencies and all this other stuff. And then, because I'm going to tell you what from my research that I've thinking, it's not, I do not believe that it's documentation or anything about a particular secrets that are from other countries. I think they're secrets that are from other, not aliens, but I think that these are secrets that they don't want to get out to the public. Do you see how, and you know what, I got to tell you this. Somebody asked me the other day, don't you get tired of all your theories and all this research and all this? No, I don't. No, what I feel sad for is that there are people who have sat in pew number 2 and have been dictated to believing that the truth only comes from XYZ, and that it's very unfortunate. And I want to know the truth before I check out of this meat suit that I'm in. I want to know. And I think that it is at our beck and call. It is our purpose to know. The unfortunate part is, though, I'm just going to tell you, the more we know and the more that we see, the more we see that how things are hidden, manipulated, covered up, set up, all kinds of things. And the other thing is, too, my darlings, I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to say it every time that I see you. I believe in UAP, UFO. I believe in Bigfoot. I believe in skinwalkers. I believe in werewolves. I believe in dirty, dark magic. I believe in vampires. They're real. Energy and other types of vampires. I believe in immortals. And I believe that we all have immortal blood within us. I believe that our DNA spells out the name of God. And I will show you that one day. How a DNA strand will show the name of God. No, I do not believe in evolution. I believe in creation. I believe in all that stuff because there's too much unexplained. I believe in dogmen. I believe that there have been things that have been created. I believe in sirens. You know what a siren is? It's a mermaid. I believe in imps. I believe in trolls. I believe in demons. I believe in fae. I believe in fairy. I know. Zelda, go home. I am. I am home. There we go. There we go. Because the more you open your eye, this is the reason why I'm saying this, my darlings. Thank you. Canada Oceans Playground. Thank you, my darling. Thank you. Welcome here from no. Oops, hello. There's my wish list. I meant to click on you. Thank you, honey, from Nova Scotia. Bless you. Thank you so much. I'm going to tell you something. If you go down that little rabbit hole, and you know, I'm sorry for people that get scared of demons and devils and all that other stuff, because I want you to know this. When you are a believer and you are that strong, you see this? You got more power right here in your little finger than whatever entity that is evil has toward you. You have the ability, my darling. You have, listen, here comes a little blessing. I'm going to tell you now that I want all of you to do this. I want all of you to try this. When you are, listen, and I do this, and I've got clients that are doing this that are calling me going, Zelda, what in the absolute heck? I mean, what? And I did it. You can ask Mrs. Marie. You can ask the mister. You can ask my son. That I just sit here in not disbelief, but in wonder. Because remember, we have the Sabbath really is on Saturday. The first day of the week is Sunday. That's why when you look at a calendar, Saturday is over, you know, Saturday is over here, Sunday is over here, Saturday is over here. Because you're starting a new week. But you know what? Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. That doesn't mean a particular day. We have the Sabbath within us every day. That's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to keep. Okay, so here you go. Here is what I want you to do, my darlings. And I'm going to give you this. May you, each and every one of you, have all the abundance, the health, the wealth, the ability to live long and prosper, and for you to know that God and his infinite wisdom in the universe will give you more than you could even imagine, that he will take that 50 pounds from you. He will take those things from you, those bad habits. And here's the part you've got to believe, and you can't wait to see how fast it happens. Hello. And when I added that onto my manifestations and the rice jar and all this other stuff, when I add that on to, that's when it like leveled me up. Zing. And if you don't do it, you're missing out. Because if look, I want to look younger. I can't wait for the universe and God I'm looking younger, and I can't wait to see how fast it happens. And believe me, it's just like boom, 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 boom. Things happen, opportunity happens, doors open. Listen, there are times that I sit here and I wish, sheesh, I wish I had 2 or 3 mini me's that I could go, here you go, this is it, this is this, because I have so much beautiful opportunity. So many doors have opened. So many things happen that I want you. No, Nanette, not, I would not do it. Lord Gregor does not regret it, but I certainly would not do it. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. Most immortals don't have children. When you think about it, I'm just going to tell you a little piece, and this goes with Veil Keep. We know that this is one of the reasons that Veil Keep needs to be renovated to the extent that it does. And the reason being is because he has sat in that place by himself for years, not decades. It's probably centuries. And then when I met him, it was kind of like, oh, now that's not because of me. I'm going to say that. It's because he feels like he is fulfilling what he has asked to do. You see, I'm not the only one here in this equation. He asked what he can do to fulfill what he needs to do. And that's what each and every one of you little sweethearts can do too. I'm going to do this because it's over the chat. Let me see. Yeah, go ahead and ask that, my darling. Sure. We're chatting. And somebody was asking me the other day, oh my gosh, time is just flying. You know why time seems to go quicker, my darling? You know why? Because the older we get, the more experience we have. The more experience we have to living. I remember sometimes some people are like, oh my gosh, I just pay their rent and next thing you know, it's due again. Well, yes, you got to pay to stay. So you got to move up above that. Hello. Level up. Level up. Honey, listen, get creative. Use your great northern beans. I have people who use sugar. Sugar's a good one. Oatmeal, salt, any commodity like that. Oh, Patty, my darling, where are Sammy and Shaggy Noodle? Well, let's see. Sammy is over here snoring. Well, they all are. The noodle maker, I have no idea where that little turd is. I don't know. They're all sleeping. Do you know cats? I'm going to tell you this about cats. People think that they're nocturnal and they're not. Cats thrive at sunup and sundown, and then they sleep most of the rest of the day. The reason that they come in at night, and I know this, the reason they come in at night is because they check to see if you're breathing. Because when we go to sleep at night, our own body smell changes. And it's because our bodies heal during sleep. And they can smell that. I always have one. Because I have to sleep on my side, I can't sleep on my back. I always have one laying here on my arm or on my hip or somewhere near my back. They always have to be there, and that's their jobs. That's their job. They make sure that we are here. Okay, very interesting. Thank you very much, my darling. It's Billy Joe. Let me see, my darling. Give me, well, let me see. Don't drop, Zelda. Okay. Here is my rice jar. And I haven't filled it up because you know what it's doing? It's cooking just as good right now. It's cooking very good. What do I do with it? I leave it right here on my desk. And if I've got something that I want to talk about or I'm listening about something, because listen, I'm totally boring. You can ask what's his face. Because I sit here, I read. If I'm not reading cards, I'm reading books. If I'm not reading books, I'm doing research. If I'm not reading books or doing research, I'm listening to some type of classical music or something like that. And oh, speaking of which, where is our should we have the monks? Do we have the monks or the fireplace? Let me know in the chat. Do we need monks or do we need fireplace? Just a second, my darling. Let me back up to get your question. I wanted to wait until you wrote it. I've got, let's see, I don't think you can see this. I've got, I don't even know what that is, but it's in there. I've got some foldy money in there. I've got a bay leaf. I've got, oh, it's part of a cinnamon stick. You open this up and it's like, woof, it smells really good. But you keep it here and you put your intention into it. That's what this is all about. That's why I like it. And it works too. I did have a rice bowl, but sometimes the cats get in there and, you know, hello, there's something, let's dig into it. No. All right. Here's a good question. What will happen to Vale Keep since he does not have children? It will probably go to, going to be a while, but he'll probably leave it to his steward and make sure that there's a trust. He's got a plan with his lawyer. He's got a plan, so it's not going to crumble or anything else. I don't believe he's going to leave it to the state. So there we go. So there we are. Okay, Mama. Could that girl have been silenced by the group that? No. She was silenced by the experience. I think she just whacked out. So no. I think that she probably passed away or was put away. There was nothing to silence because the girl couldn't hardly even talk. So that's what was probably so bad. Yeah. Lori used oatmeal. There you go, Lori. We just napped. There you go, Cat Randall. What's the difference of things used in the right jar? Well, now I do have an ebook that I wrote that's in the psychic shop. If you're interested in getting that, it's a nominal little whatever fee. But like bay leaf is, you know, I write a wish on the back of it. Everything has its own property that attracts. Cinnamon does, bay leaf, everything like that. It's just part of the attraction process. So there you go. I hope that oh, look, Deborah, I'm adopting 3 little 5-week-old kittens. Oh. I see these things about these little kittens and I think, oh, dear God. Right? You know, listen, I love these guys and I've lost some. I've lost 4. And whomever's, and I keep thinking every day, thank you, God, for letting them around. Because believe me, you'll know if I lose another one, it'll be like an Italian funeral around here. But I just don't think that I'm going to get any more. And if I end up with a Newfoundland doggy, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Oh, look who's here. My producer. You see how there she is. Hello, Cat. This is Sam Miami, my producer. Hello to each and every one. Do you stretch your cats? Do you stretch your kitties? Oh, you sound like you need to pull your nose. You stretch your kitties? You should stretch your cats. Be careful. Oh, sister. Now, come on now. Be careful when you stretch your cats, but you should, underneath your arm, just stretch a little bit because it's very good. Okay, goodbye. She's not having that. No stretch. Thank you for the memories. All right. I don't think they wanted the other found. I keep her experience hidden. She was able to speak to you when she found what she crazy, according to the police told you. Okay, wait a minute. Did I miss something that went along with this? No. I don't think they wanted the others found. And to keep her experience hidden. No, I don't think so. I don't think that. I don't think that at all. I think that they just didn't. I don't think that they just made an effort to find them. Frankly, almost like Nancy Guthrie. Did I say that? Yeah. Almost like that. Almost to that point where you kind of have to think, see, if I wouldn't have been there, those other people would have left the woods and would just not have probably done anything because they, in some regard, thought that she was joking. They most likely would have left her. So, you see what I mean? You see what I mean? You see what I mean? Someone asked if I'm going to read for Karen Reed again. Yes, I'm going to be reading for Karen Reed. Listen, I wish I could just sit here and go, okay, here's Karen Reed, here's Nancy Guthrie, here's Lynette Hooker, here is this one, here is this one, here. But it is so much. Oh, look who's back. Thank you. I promise I won't stretch you. It's Mommy's girl. That's who she do. No, I don't, Yvette Stern. I do not believe so. I don't believe so, my darling. I think this is bigger than let me see. Thanks for that. I do see what you mean. Yeah. Lori, well, you know something, that's my second time going out with people that really didn't know what they're doing. That's why I don't go out with paranormal groups anymore. It's very easy to say, hey, I'm a ghost hunter. And without doing any research, without doing anything like that whatsoever. And if these people, it's the same thing with, remember the story in the graveyard, the cemetery, pardon me, and it was, run. Same thing with that group. I won't entangle them anymore. No, trial junkie, she's not. Completely different. Completely different. Completely different. She is, hi, Letty. She is involved with a mess. And she's the fallout, unfortunately. Yep. Run. That was the second time that that's the second time that I won't do it again. Third time's charm ain't gonna happen. Oh my goodness, Rachel, bless you. Did I say that I'm just like my grandma? I wish. My grandmother, now not Zelda, that's on one side. The other side was the grandmother that that's the other side. And she was so Oh my gosh, psychic hello. You know, she met um, Ed and Lorraine Warren, and Lorraine Warren called her sass. Lorraine Warren called her sass because my grandmother was sassy. She was like 5'5". She was something else. Yeah, Nanette, you know what? I appreciate sleuth a lot, but I'm going to tell you, there's some things that I just prefer not to indulge in with that type of thing. You know, that's been. I listen. I respect sleuth for bringing people on his channel, but sometimes it's I can pretty much tell that it's not for me. Hi, Marina. Well, the people missing in the national forest, I believe, either run into some type of cave, sinkhole, or porthole, or vortex, because there's so much that are in these. What you would not catch me going in the woods by myself. Never. Even with a group of people, there have been people going missing in groups of people in the Great Smoky Mountains. You go in a group and somebody can be missing. How? It's amazing and seriously scary. There you go. It's Billy Joe. There you go. Thank you, CB's A Moment in Time. Big hug back. Hello, my darling. Let me see. Yeah, I just, people are, they want answers so much that they just unfortunately cling on things. And listen, I have some problems. Harry, my darling, thank you so much for, you're so kind and generous. Thank you so much. Bless you, bless you. Oh yeah, listen, I like watching his show. I really do. I really do. I like that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, me too. Me too. We have a place outside of Cheyenne that is very active. Been here all my life and have never been there. Yeah, you know. Oh, it's prom night, Cindy. Oh my goodness. Gosh, I remember those days. Let me see something here. There are so many distractions going on at the same time. My mind is going haywire with all the information coming out these days. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule. You know what, my darling? This is my schedule. I mean, I kind of transcended from, I still do readings on the psychic line with True Oracle. But this is it. The videos, the live streams, all those things. This is it. This is it. I got to tell you, my grandmother she really liked Lorraine Warren. She did not like Ed. Don't ask me why. She just didn't. I don't know what that is. So I don't know. Oh, Zelda, your favorite tiny doll is sitting with me. She runs when she hears you, but she's not. Oh, bless her. She's sleeping now. Oh, Sleuth. Okay, that's where I remember him from. Sleuth comes. Hi there, Terry. Oh, my goodness. I hope you're feeling better, my darling. Wait, here we are. Trial Junkie Sleuth comes from the Delphi murder. Oh, yeah, that was something, wasn't it? Richard Allen, what a mess. Thank you, Heather. April is Autism Awareness Month. We had a child with autism, Can we give a heart for everyone with it? Thank you. Yes, if you want to put hearts in the chat for autism, that's fine with me. Please feel free. Yeah, Lori, no. Do you know that in the Appalachian Mountains, they have another thing that they do? And when somebody passes away, that the immediate thing that you have to do is go out and tell the bees. Don't ask me why. It's a thing. You go out and you tell the bees. If you have bees on the property, or usually you do there, if it's like the Great Smoky Mountain, there's some bees around because there's a lot of good honey places there. Let me see. Always been afraid of the woods in Kentucky. I got a really funny story to tell you, and then we're going to go. Are the Warrens, they used to, yeah, it's there, and then they sold it, and then that handler, when he was traveling with it, passed away. Remember that? I don't think that ain't no coincidence. And when the ME puts on the death certificate, did not pass away because of Annabelle. What? Stop it. I plan my schedule around it. Thank you, Kimberly. Bless you, my darling. I know. So, Sammy, she's a little chicken girl. Just a thought, what would your world be if the mister was always in your place? I don't know. I mean, it would be very nice. Let me just say that. It would be very welcomed and very nice. But both he and I are so independent, and we have our own lives and stuff, and we have kind of melded, places, lives, channels, and everything else together. I don't know. I can't imagine. I can't imagine. I don't think we've talked about it. I know he would like to have me come there, but no. Let's see. Look at all the beautiful hearts. Thank you all, my darlings. My goodness. Aunt BB, you are so sweet. I've said this before, but Saturday nights are date nights with Lady Zelda. Thank you so much. I'm the original Saturday Night Live. All right. They do the bee thing in the UK too. Do they really, Luna? Luna the tuna, you are so cute. I did not know that. Listen, that's where that thing was knocking on my door. Unfiltered mysteries, but you are so cute. Look at you. No, it's okay. I figured so, my darling. No worries. Just so everybody knows. Terry, you're absolutely right. Terry says, I wanted to say that this is the bet or best chat. Thanks, all of you. Blessed we are. Yes, I am very blessed to have all of you. Hi there, Samantha. I heard that Epi guy gave a lot of money to the scientific world. If true, think that plays some. No, not in this case, my darling. And that was true. Look how cute you are. That is true, but no, I think that they know too much on another realm. That's the unfortunate part. Let me see. Dear God in heaven, no. I'm not cleaning that, especially now. The place is kind of a wreck now, but it's okay. Sometimes you just got to make a mess to have something better. The other day, I told him, sometimes you have to eat a rotten, a little poop to have a good strawberry. And of course, he just, Valiana tries to figure it out, but okay. Zelda Knots Live. I'm going to make a shirt that says, I'm a Zelda Knot. How's that? I'm going to make a shirt. I have my darlings put a lot of new things in our merchandise store. True Oracle has a lot of really cool things here and over at the Keep. So we've got a lot of really good stuff. My grown are reading the Ethiopian Bible. What is that? They said it's very amazing. I appreciate your thoughts. Well, it's a worldly idea that has a lot of books in there that tells of a lot of mystery. And sometimes, I like to, if I don't see things in the manuscripts or close to it, now listen, there's a place, the Tibetan papyrus and the manuscripts. Oh, now I would like to get in there, but there's such a language barrier for many things, but I don't know. I'm just going to say, trust your spirit. Trust your spirit. You're welcome, my darling. You're welcome. You're welcome. I got you. Maybe. I don't think so, though. I don't know. Cindy says, I love this chat, and I don't like chats. You know what? I do too. You know what I like about all of you? That even though I have mods, and sometimes there's somebody that comes in and just wants to be poopy pants, right? You guys are always so respectful. There's never anyone causing any problem. Well, because everybody knows I won't put up with it. And this is a safe place. If you want to come here and we talk about things and we come together as a group and a community that has good things in mind and good things on our heart, we're here. But I am just not one who wants to sit here and cause crap. I won't do it. And I won't fall into it. And I don't put up with it. If somebody comes in, I got to tell you there was one time somebody ordered something on Amazon and sent it to me. And because I made a comment, because she didn't like somebody in the shop, I made a comment and said, we're not talking about that person. I don't care if you don't like them or not. She canceled the Amazon order to me. Now, you know what? If you want to get that petty and stinky, just go. It's not that I want something from Amazon, but sometimes I do have to eat a plate of principles. And when somebody wants to be that petty, I'm not petty. Just do what you want to do, right? Hi there, Diet Coke addict. My darling, look how cute you are. Here, we love watching you. You are stunning, my darlings, is my new favorite thing. There you go. There you go. I don't know where I got that. I think is what it was is when I was young. When I was young, I listened. Okay, never mind. When I was young, I watched all these old movies when they would come on, and there was one I remembered that it had Ginger Rogers, when she went more into acting and wasn't dancing. And she was in a movie where she called her father darling. She called everybody oh, my poor darling. And I don't know why that just came. That just picked up I don't know. Paula, where does the name Valiana come from? Valiana comes from, first of all, way back in the day, my bio dad would refer to that as, no, wait, let me think. Something, a variation of that. Let me just say, a Valiania or something. I don't know what it was. But it's because I'm considered Veldran, which you can look up. It's that person who's more connected to the earth, even though very spiritual. And because he is Vale-born and I am Veldran, that's not really a nickname. It's a variation of it. And that's what he's always, when I first met him, it was Veliana. And well, he asked me, do you mind if I call you Veliana? And I said, well, what does it, as long as it doesn't mean poop head, I'm cool. So yeah. Speaks about the chosen ones in the book of Enoch. Yeah. It talks about giants. It talks about watchers. Now I'm going to tell you something. You want to hear watcher stories? Listen to Vale Keep, because in that Carpathian arc, that is so esoterical there, and it is thin. The veil is thin, so a lot of things seep through. There's a lot of things there. Trees that will capture your soul if you get too close to them. Hello there. Oh, when my baby smiles at me, I go to Rio de Janeiro. Remember that song? Thank you for being here. There you go. I'll make that tomorrow and put it in the shop. You all look, okay? What's going on with the Catacomb Cards contest? We, I think, had one entry. So we're going to take care of things. We may have two, but as far as I'm concerned, you're winners. So if you want to did you email? No, you emailed me. You probably emailed Kathleen. You probably emailed True Oracle. If you'll email True Oracle and ask to have the email sent to me, all is well. It has the Book of Eno, the Apocrypha, and total of 88 books, maybe more. I'm not sure, but I'm waiting to get on mine to get here. Okay. I have 3 books of Enoch. I have the Apocrypha. I like the Apocrypha. But I'm just going to say, be careful. That I'm not an expert, but far from it. But just be careful. If the Newfoundland pup comes to me, please video it when I will. Yes, I will. If Bran comes, I will. I will videotape him, the Bran, and this one right here must sign a waiver. She's got to sign the letter of approval. And believe me, she's a tough cookie. She was sleeping by me the other night. She's tough. She was sleeping by me the other night. It's so funny because I must have moved or did something that she didn't like, and whoo, she smacked me with no nails, but she just smacked me in the face. I'm like, well, you cow, stop. Okay. I'm going to read. Well, read it as though it's something that you're interested, that you're going to research. Okay. Don't be like, oh my God, that's the word of God, because I don't know. But it could be just like the books of Maccabee that are in the 1611. There's books that are in this 1611 Bible, like the books of Maccabee. I'm going to research some other ones, but that they took out of the Protestant Bible, and that they took out. Do you know the Mister has a copy of not the original, but a copy of the original, one of the originals of the 1611 Bible and of the Book of Demonology that King James wrote? Got a lot of stuff there. Got a lot of stuff there. Let me see. Let me go through here and make sure that there's so much drama in the tubes. Is like, oh, honey, that's why I'm not on the Twix. It's X and Twitter together is Twix, as far as I'm concerned. Is there any results on the Catacomb contest? Yeah, I think so. Let me see. Okay, I'll make some Zelda Knot shorts or shirts. Right, tired of fighting and dealing with. Oh my goodness, honey, you said it. With horribly wounded people, I need to have breaks of my Listen, I feel sorry for people who are overly wounded, but there is a time that you got to heal. All wounds heal. They're supposed to. Yes, there are things in my past that it's hard, but you know what? I won't let anything stop me. Nothing. And it becomes such a horrible to feel like you just don't know. Oh, I don't know who's at my door. I don't know who, when you wake up one day, is going to be mouthing off to somebody somewhere, somehow, causing problem. Oh, you did this. Oh, you did that. Stop. Oh, this is my friend on the tube. Stop. You don't have friends on the tubes. You don't know these people, who they are. That seriously. We're here to entertain. I am. I'm not here to influence. I don't like that word influencer or a creator. I don't think I create. I don't think that I influence. I'm here to entertain. Let me entertain you. Right? So let me catch up with, let's see. One night we'll do singing. Lori, she's one today. Okay. Georgia. Happy birthday to you. Oh, wait. Let me start over. Zelda, what's wrong with you? I don't know. All right, here we are. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, sweet Georgia. Happy birthday to you. And many more. Make a wish and blow out the candles. I'm going to have to learn the rest of it again. I used to know it, and I don't anymore. But I'll learn that. I call everybody honey, right? When I had the call, one of the calls that I had a few weeks ago over the Nancy, in regard to Nancy Guthrie and stuff, I called somebody of authority darling. Well, you know what? I could call you a something else. Flatfoot, maybe. A flatfoot flutie with fly. The Greek for a type of tea that's very special. Yes. I do not believe in reincarnation. Only because the word says that we are appointed only to die once. I believe in time travel more than I do reincarnation. I believe there can be a time split, that time can be manipulated and time can be split. So people, even these young children, can experience something different in a different time versus a reincarnation. I don't get it. You know why? We have no proof. We have no proof. If you want to tick me off, have somebody come to, I have these people, bless them, clients that come to me and say, oh my God, I had this person that told me that I was something and something, and I'm like the way that I am now because of my past life. Stop. You're like the way you are right now because maybe you needed a little crack on the side of the head. Maybe you need a little creativity in your life. Maybe you need to get over yourself. Pull up your big girl panties and say, okay, fine. Deal with it, take responsibility, and let's go. But I don't like that. When somebody does that, oh, let me regress you, because you know what? Your mind can literally play a trick. If you sit there and say, oh, I must have been this, I must have been that, I must have been this, I must have been that. Your mind is going to start saying, because remember, your mind cannot be measured. The human brain can, but your mind cannot. Another university, I believe it was MIT, tried to replicate the human mind. And when they got about the size of Texas and 5 stories tall, as far as plans were concerned, they scrapped that too. We have 72,000 thoughts per day. That's right. Thoughts you don't even think of having. So for people to say, we need a fireplace. Where are you, fireplace? Where did you go? Maybe you're down too low. There we are. But for people to mislead and to misguide, they do not have to prove. Just like that seminar, I talk about it all the time. Just like that seminar that I went to in Florida, where I think there were 5 people that got up and believe me, those were the 5 from that area. Imagine how many other 5 wanted to be Cleopatra. How many Cleopatras can we possibly have on this earth? Oh no, my psychic told me that I was Cleopatra in the past, and she walked around like she owned the Egyptian Nile. And it's like, my heck, stop. And it's like, oh my goodness. So that's, I have a hard time with that. To me, to each his own. If everybody wants to believe in that's fine with me. I don't buy what they're selling on that one. And because I'm really funny about protecting your mind and your thought process. That's the only reason. Don't have anything else about that. It's nothing against anybody. But protect yourselves, protect your mind. That's what we're supposed to do, right? Does Bran like kitties? Yes. He is with my kitty. He's a black cat over there. His name is Faramir. And they're buddies. I don't know where Faramir came either, but he's mine, I guess. Newfoundland is a beautiful, big, large, easy to train. This one is, thank you, my darling. Look at you. Aren't you a darling? He's a little sweet pea. Oh my goodness. All he does is wiggle. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. He hears my voice and it's like this one with hello cat and he's wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. I love that with a doggy. Why do you say be careful? Well, don't be worried. What do you got to be worried about? I don't know what you mean by be careful. I'm lost. Oh, excuse me, sister. Don't do that. Tell me don't worry. It's not to make you worry. It's to empower you. It's to empower you. Be careful. Look, protect your mind and yourself. Protect yourself. Don't fall into what everybody hype has to say. We live in a time where people throw themselves at sports figures and singers and everything else. And it's like, what? And actors and what? Stop. Stop it. Don't do that. Don't do that. Protect your mind. Be careful of what you hear. Don't listen to everything. Yeah, Newfies he is a little sweet pea hard, I'm telling you. It is supposed to be, I've heard that too, Jackie. I've heard that. I've never really read it. I'm just going to say, but and everybody goes, oh, the lost books of the Bible and the Enoch and then this and that, and But I'm going to find that book. There is one book, and I've got to find it. I want to share it with you, that talks about once we passed away. It's in Luke chapter 16, talks about going to paradise. And it's about Lazarus, not about the Lazarus that was raised from the dead. It was another Lazarus. And how Lazarus in chapter 16 of Luke passed away and he went to the other side of the gulf. and he saw other people on the other side that were good and, having a good time. He was not on the good side of the gulf. And he begged Jesus, said, Jesus, can you please, I have to tell I have to tell my brothers. I have to tell my brothers. And Jesus said, you had your chance. We talked about it. You had your chance when I was there. And there's in the book, I have to find out. It describes what paradise is like and that whole thing. I'm going to I'm going to look for it and then I'll share it with you. Is Bran a dog that enjoys being inside, or would he rather be outside? I think he would just rather be. I don't think he doesn't stay out much anymore. He's getting older, but we don't even really know how old he is. But then the mister says that he's got chickens so old they refuse to die. So I don't know. I don't know. Sometimes I have to laugh, but I mean, some of the stuff that he says is just like, what? Let me see. Discernment. That's good thing. That's a good word. That's right. Thank you, my darling. I don't know how to bring Sasha's Adventures. Have a lovely evening. My darling, there you go. Thank you. Thank you. Look Monday for the readings to come out. All right, let me see. There you go, my darling. There you go. Oh, let me see. Let me get through. I stopped. I've got the chat on slow mode because if I don't, it just goes. But then if I put it on slow mode, it'll just stop, and then all of a sudden it just cuts loose. So I have to go through. Can I ask you a question? What would you give a child with high anxiety? Well, my darling, that's kind of a loaded question, and it's kind of a medical question that I can't answer. But it depends on what causes the high anxiety. Because you know what? Our thoughts, and remember, our thoughts are not the facts. So find out what your child is really thinking. What's causing the fear that causes the high anxiety? Because you also try to control the breathing a little bit, because all of us, anytime anyone gets upset or excited, you start breathing and that right there will raise your anxiety too. That's the only thing that I can say. But I hope that's helpful. All right, let me see here. Thank you, Cindy. Lori, you're sweet. Thank you. Listen, I've been called the names I'm good with, darling. Listen, my darling, I've been called names that I've had to use a dictionary to figure out what they were. So, yeah, I'm not worried about. I am really to the point, and I think it's probably why I'm so chill, that if you can just learn to allow some of this just crap, pick your battles and allow whatever it is to roll off your back like water on a duck, then life becomes a little easier to tread, right? It sure does. Ladies, I stepped in another room from it. We have another birthday wish. Piper is also celebrating her first birthday. Okay, here we go. Another birthday. Let me get my balloons ready. Here we are. Ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Piper. Happy birthday to you. Make a wish and blow out the candles. I'm going to have to remember the words. That is part of it. So there you go. Oh, who is that over there doing that to the lights? Master Riley, stop. We almost had a lighting catastrophe, my darlings. Almost had a lighting catastrophe. All right. Take names and kick dragon. I'm loving that, Lolly. You betcha. The meat suit you are in right now is what you have. Yep. You're welcome, Lori. Bless you. Let me get down to the end of the chat. I don't want to leave. The Cleopatras, right? 5 in one room. And this one would walk in, I have to tell you, she wore her hair, she had the black hair thing going. She got into it. The black hair, and it was like right across here, and she wore that teal blue 1960s eyeshadow with the big eyeliner wing. All Hollywood, not Egyptian approved. And, when she walked in, I'm thinking to myself, where's the coiled snake on her head? She was in the garb. She had a white thing on, and she had these 2 other women walking behind her. I don't know if they were supposed to have palms and, whatever, but she was the show. She walked in, and it was kind of like, yes, I am Cleopatra. Well, she got dethroned that day. That was kind of funny. And you know what that boils down to, my darlings? That boils down to ain't nobody doing their research. Because they all got mad. Hello, dog. They all got mad when I got up there and was supposed to talk. Why do I have to be the bad guy? It seems like I always have to be the bad guy, but I'm good with it. Let me see. Let me get through here. You said when I read Veil Cape Ethiopia Bible, true. I walked away from the world close. So, okay, my darling, let me see. Oh, goodbye then. Let me see. I just feel that when we come to this earth after we are born, we are the most connected. And sometimes time, in my view now, time can slip and there can be memories of a parallel time. That's the only thing that I can think of. Let me see. Oh yeah, Branny, he's like a drooler, buddy. But not so much though. Not so much. He's okay. Let me see. Rachel, that's right, Rachel. Okay, let me see. Okay, I'm just going to get to the bottom here. All right. Now, anyway, Miss Cleopatra walking in, it felt like walk like an Egyptian. I felt like, right? Don't go with me if you don't want to laugh. So she's in there, and then it was an automatic. The other Cleopatras in the other room were throwing daggers with their eyes. And it was, how could you be? How could you be Cleopatra when I am? So this speaker at this convention gets up and he's talking about reincarnation. I was the next speaker because I was going to be talking about cartomancy or something. And he gets up and he's like, talking about reincarnation and all this other, right? Funny enough, he went around the room. He said, does anybody had any reincarnation here? And of course, people were raising their hands. Miss Cleo doesn't raise her hand. One of her maidens, and if you would have seen that, you talk about, I don't know if these people were paid or if they just thought that this was something that they had to do. One of her maidens was sitting back there, and she was like, yes, right here, look. Oh my gosh. So one stands up and she goes, I was Cleopatra. And the daggers start looking, and one says, no, you ain't. You can't be Cleopatra. I'm Cleopatra. And boy, oh boy, the eyebrows, that Scarlett O'Hara eyebrow started going up. Then another one pops up and says, well, you're all frauds because I was Cleopatra and I was married to Mark Antony and it didn't turn out the way that it was. So then all of a sudden, Miss Cleopatra of the Nile stands up and she says, these people are imposters. Listen to this. You're going to love it. These people are imposters, and I demand that they be removed from the room. And I'm like, oh boy, here we go. Here we are. Look out. Oh, look, here's somebody coming. Who is this? It is Shaggy the Noodle Boy. Don't put your hiney to the camera. Who is purring? Okay. So anyway, then the perpetual starts hitting the fan. And when Miss Cleopatra, she looks at her maidens like, sick 'em. She's like, remove them. And these two girls go through and they're grabbing people. And I'm like, you got to be out of your mind. People were like, what? They were going at it. Snatching hair. I mean, seriously. And I'm thinking, so finally security came in and they basically said, look, you all have to leave. And they separated all the Cleos. So they were all sit down, and that didn't stop them from doing the daggers. So finally it was my turn, and I'm thinking, oh, ain't nobody going to pay attention to what I got to say. So, when I got up there, I said, well, I want you to know. Excuse me, sir, but you are not eating my hair or my earrings. Goodbye then. I said, I want you to know that I want you to know that I don't believe in reincarnation. I said, and what I will tell you is I believe in the Word of God. And I believe, my personal belief is that there is no reincarnation. And you talk about, if looks could have done me in, I would have been slabbed out and buried. It would have been slam the door, hit the grass, Zelda's no longer here. So then they're all daggering, looking at me. And finally I just said, look, I don't know if any of you have done any of your research, real research into the Roman Empire, into Cleopatra. But I want you to know that Cleopatra was about 4'11" and weighed 160, but they say between 145 to 160 pounds. So you would not be swankering in this room like you all have. You would more likely be rolling in. She slept with her brother. She slept with her father. And she tested ways to take herself out on all of her handmaidens. And I said, and you two right there that are with your Cleo, you better be careful at lunch. You may be next. You should have seen, everybody was like, and I said, so tell me why now you all want to fight about being Cleopatra. Because guess what? It ain't so pretty if you ask me. I don't have to sit and pick a character out of the past that does those types of nasty things. And I said, and that's my talk for today. Thank you so much. And I just went down and went out of the room, and that was the end. That was the end. Nee, 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 walk like an Egyptian. That was the end. And that was the end of my invitations going to the California Psychic, the community fair. What is going on? Everybody is here now. So that was the end of my thing. That was the end. The end. I don't know what happened to Cleopatra or her handmaidens, but I think if I were one of her handmaidens, I think that I would have cut and run after that day. Right? Just a minute. I'm sorry, I'm making noise. Because they come through here. It's like a bull in a china shop. Okay, let me see if I've caught everybody. Marcia, thank you, my darling. If I haven't thanked you before, now let me see this. I got a lot of thanking to do here. I got a lot. They get tired of me being on here. It's kind of like, really? Mama J is a member for 9 months, and thank you so much for being here. Thank you, thank you. And Stephanie, a super sticker that is so generous. Thank you very much. Marilyn is a member for 1 month. I'm so glad that you're here. Michelle is a new member. Thank you. Oh, look at that little sweetheart. Aww. Kat Randall is a member for 8 months. Kat Randall always sends me beautiful little pictures and all kinds of little things on the Twix. It's very much appreciated. Kat Randall also gifted 5 Lady Zelda Kelly memberships. I love it. Zenjen is a new member. I think a renewed member. Thank you so much, my darlings. And Deborah, just because you're my favorite YouTuber, well, thank you so much, my darling. I appreciate that. So generous. Thank you. And there's Aunt BB, my darling. 10 Lady Zelda gifted memberships. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Ruby, $4.99. Thank you so much for your generosity, my darling. You just look so happy. Every one of you I look at and I think, oh my gosh, will we just not have so much fun? Dee, thank you so much for being here. And Cynthia, member for 5 months. Look at those kitties. I love it. I love it. So thank you so much for being here. My darling, you guys are such a blessing. Thank you, Denise. Yeah, Cleopatra was one of those. One time I want to talk to you about Elizabeth Bathory. She makes Vlad Dracul look like Ronald McDonald and her craziness. Anyway, member for 1 month, Libby. Look at you, darling. So happy. I love it. Thank you so much. And thanks, Mary, I just love that picture of you. Red lips. I can't take it. I just love it. Thank you. Oh, yeah. For some reason, my YouTube account can't receive memberships. Oh, why? Why, I wonder? I don't know. So I hear that it's the tubes of you that is something. Oh, that chick is heinous. Yeah, she's something else. We're going to talk about her. We're just going to talk about her. Anyway, my darlings, guess what else? It is time to talk about, because I have sit here, listen to me talk. I have sat here and talky all night. And I'm probably going to get something to eat. The female Dracula, she was crazy. Here's Patty. This is good. The setting you have to go in and choose to receive free memberships, but I don't know where it is. I can't help you get to it on your iPhone. I get it. Dawn, thank you so much, my darling. Let us know how you like your book of Enoch when you get it. The 9.99er, thank you very much. I appreciate you. She needs to take that out, Nightbot. It's old command. Yeah, Nightbot has had a little mind of his own. And there are some things that I can't get it to quit saying, so I may just have to end it altogether. Marcy, thank you so much. You have to go into your profile and permit gifts. Yeah, I don't have an iPhone, so I can't direct you on that. I'm very sorry. Let me see. Mine either on my phone, only on laptop, not on my tablet either. Yeah, Karen, it's quirky when you've got the iPhone gig, and I think it's because the whole setup is Google. They make it tough, whatever. Let me see. Libby, thank you so much, darling, for your generosity. I appreciate you. Thank you. It's so kind. May you all have a blessed evening from Terry. Oh, and who turned the light on over here? Shaggy Noodles. You guys. Anyway, you see, let there be light, and there was. Lisa, just got to sit down for the day. Bless you, my darling. You may have to turn it back and catch up a little bit. Sir, excuse me. Doesn't feel that Lady Zelda is sitting in your living room, keeping you company in your space. Claudia, thank you so much. It's funny that you say that, because I do kind of feel like we're just here chatting. We're just here. Thank you, Desire. Thank you. Let's see the count here as I was being nosy. There you go. I'm so glad you guys have enjoyed yourself. Monday, we will be doing more videos. I'm going to be reading on Karen. I'm going to be reading on Lynette Hooker and more Nancy and whomever else comes out of the woodwork, because you just don't know what's going to happen. And if something really happens tonight or tomorrow, I'll most likely be reading over that as well. Let me see. Zeldanators are the best, my darlings. Let me see. You have to update the app, the tubes of you, and have turn on the setting on each device. It doesn't always save the setting. Oh yeah, that's very true. Like when you go to subscribe and you click on that little and it comes up and says personal all or personalized. If you subscribe, it usually defaults to personalized. And that's why a lot of people never get notifications. So you've got to do the all, and then you get all of it. But you have to do it on all your devices, because if you don't, then it ain't pretty. Colleen, thank you for another educational, fabulous night. Good night, everyone. Thank you so much, my darling Colleen, for your generosity. I appreciate you. Instead of hearing junk on TV, I'd rather listen to you talk. It's actually useful. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, Colleen, for the wonderful comment. Thank you. I appreciate that. You don't know how much, because I've had people say, Zelda, what are you trying to do with all these images and all this stuff? Kind of thinking that I'm whacked out a little bit. No, this is my avenue to create. And I love creating for you, because you know what? If you're here and you want to see a few things, I want to give you that visual, because that's how you retain things, is giving you the residual of even in my help me, help you, help I'm haunted, whomever. I want you to be able to really I don't know. Are you hearing the fireplace? I can't hear it. Maybe I'm just weird. Oh, that's the jury's out on that. Let me see. I can't hear the fireplace. That's so weird. No? Okay. I turned it on again. I don't know what happened. No what? No fireplace? Zelda! Okay. Anyway, I so enjoyed doing all this. I do it all. Oh. Hold on. Hold on. She's a talker. She's a talker, my darlings. I got to show you this. And I'm going to ask you this favor. Make a wish and blow out the candles. I'm going to be singing that all night. All right, let me see. Can you guys please, I'm going to ask you, please move along. Thank you, darling. I got a little favor that I want to ask you. They're all over here whining, wondering. Oh my heck, how many things do we have to go through here? Oh, somebody sent a Cash App and I can't open it. I will in a second. I've got it. Zelda. Sam? Who are you? Shaggy. Buzz. Off. Go. I know. Unprepared Zelda. Let me see. Oh, no way, sir. Go. I don't know what they're doing, but I'm not happy with it. Let me get through here. Down. Okay, well, maybe. Talk amongst yourselves. Sorry. Yeah, Zelda's just sitting here. Messing around. Forevermore. Jean, thank you, my darling. Thank you so much. Now, now take a picture of this QR code. Now do this. Now do that. That's because I got my safety measures up so high. And the reason that I do that, all of the steps. Oh, crying out loud. You cats are getting me nervous now. You're going to have to stop. Sorry, everybody. We're going to have to do this, try this again. Something went wrong. Of course it did. All right. Here's your phone or your tablet. I'm doing it. Right here it is. Anyway, I have to have these. There we are. I have these set up, the security set up so high that because people do come in and they try to swipe your channels, and I have that, so that's why I struggle with that sometimes. Anyway, it's okay now. Sam, okay, this is it. Are you all laughing? Because I would be laughing at me sitting here struggling. All right, here we are, my darling. There was another channel about a year ago that I made some images for, and they had some things that um, I know Kitty Butt was walking through. Um, they posted, but they just didn't want to keep up with it. And it was just one of those things that it was just like, and I would say, are you going to post? You got to post. If you're going to have a channel, you got to post. And then I just kind of forgot about it. Well, last week, yeah, I do. That was the two-factor to the point where, yeah. So last week, I got a message, and the message was, do I want this channel? And of course I do. So they gifted me this channel, signed everything over to me, did everything I was supposed to do, blah, blah. That's right. Producer, director of Havoc. At least they're not Cleopatra's, right? And so anyway, here it is. And thanks, Chris, for being here. Thank you, thank you. Here is this channel. It is called the Crossy Chronicles. I put a new banner. I'm probably going to change it, and a new logo up. It is totally fantasy. It is about a very handsome French, I think. I don't know where he's from. His name is Toulet. He is a vampire. Her name is Crossy. She is associated with Cambridge in the UK, and they have adventures. If you like that kind of thing, and it gives me a creative outlet, if you like that, please consider going over, and I will put that in the description of mine here, I think. If you could please just head over that way and subscribe. That will help me. And that is the creative outlet that sometimes I just need. You know what I mean? Sometimes you just you don't want to check out, but you just kind of, so no, subscribe to the new channel that I just put in I'm going to put the link in here again because I think some people missed it, but just please, if you like that. And some of the stories are pretty cool, but I think that they're going to be cooler when I get into them. Yeah. Thank you, Patty. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So if you get a chance, that would just make my century. Oh, do you like the banner, Mary? Do you like the banner? Thank you so much. Yeah, that's me. That's me. And I even put a little cameo of myself in one of those little things. So if you get a chance, if you like watching that side of thing, and I'm going to tell you why. What's going on over there? I'm going to give you, thank you so much, my darlings. I'm going to tell you why. YouTube is now the #1 platform to watch movies and to watch series and all kinds of things. They're wanting to be out Netflix, and they've almost done it. So when I have a mentor, kind of, not hired, just somebody that I talk to, and he's kind of up there. And he basically said, look, thank you. You guys are darlings. Thank you so much. And he basically said, look, here's what we're looking for. We want a series. If you can make a series of, make a pilot, and then go on and do a series and have an adventure, that's exactly what we want. So that's what I'm going to strive for, my darlings. I'm going to strive to make this little series, and I think that you guys are really going to love it. So thank you so much. Well, thank you. It's Billy Joe. Thank you so much. And I appreciate you and your support, because you know what? This is my gig. This is what I'm going to do till I'm 6 feet under. And you never know. I might do it after that too. So my darlings, thank you so much. Now we can say goodbye. We've been here 3 hours. I cannot believe it, but I want to thank you so much for the gifts Thank you to my beautiful mods. They're always here. They always got my back. And thank you so much for your kindness and the thirst of knowledge that I see from each and every one of you. We're going to have a lot of fun. And look at this, another 5 Zelda Kelly memberships. Thank you so much. And over there on that channel, I'm not going to, if you can subscribe, that's it. I'm not going to ask you to spend any, no memberships or anything like that. Just watch. That's all I want you to do. Just watch. And that helps me. I love it. Thank you very much for everything. So my darlings, be blessed, be well, be brave, and remember, always stand or sit on this side of the veil. I will see you again very soon. Bye for now. They'll tell you the facts are clear, but the truth always flickers between the lines. In every shadow, there's a secret that refuses to stay buried. Clues hide in symbols, and sometimes even faith won't show its hand. Voices echo not just from the living, but from the silence they leave behind. I'm Lady Zelda. This is Seeing Crime, where what's hidden doesn't stay hidden for long. Until next time, keep watching.